All right, I'm Nick. These are my hands. My face really isn't that important. We had a bunch of questions about the XD Mod 3, and some of the comments were, hey, we wanted to get a better look at the gun, so here we are. I'm going to give you a better look at the gun, talk about some details, and then we'll test the trigger out and see what the pull weight on that is. It is actually pretty good, so I don't think it'll be above 5.5 pounds, okay? Um, so let's just start right here. We'll go front to back. You have a fiber optic front sight, which is cool. If you want to change it out to green or yellow or whatever you want to change it out to, very, very easy. It's all about personal preference. The slide serrations are very nice, and we'll talk about them more when we put the gun back together. But they're well done. They're actually functional, unlike that M&P 2.0 metal carry comp where they're just, I don't know, they're just a little too crazy. This is very functional. It looks nice. It works well. The finish on the gun is great. Okay, there's some questions about that, and I don't know what method they use because I'm not a professional gunsmith. However, the finish is fantastic. I do not baby these things. I take them out of the box. I shoot them. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. Had another question about the rear of the slide, and the question was, is this area plastic? It's not. It's metal. You should be able to hear. Okay, it's metal. It is nice. It is very easy to run the gun from the rear of the gun using those indents. The optics plate, or therefore the optics plate cover, it is plastic. Okay, I took that off of there. You will not be able to mount an optic to that without an adapter plate. Like mentioned before, did a quick little research. You can buy an optics plate for about 25 bucks. However, although YouTube drives home, you have to have a red dot over and over and over again, which is partially a marketing item. It's not necessarily true. If you have quality fundamentals, you're not shooting a bullseye tournament. You're not going out to shoot 60 yards at human beings. The idea of a pistol is self-defense related, and the pistol, just by pointing the gun, just by pointing your finger where you want to go, is minute of man. That's a great term I learned years ago. The gun will shoot where you point, and that's what you need in a self-defense situation because you're probably not going to be finding the dot. Okay, it's just a reality of the situation. Overall, everything about the slide looks good. I did just add a little bit of lubrication a minute ago. For me personally, I just put lubrication anywhere where you can see something shiny because that's where the gun is rubbing. Okay, too much lubrication is a bad thing in my opinion. It just lets the gun get dirtier. Come down here to the frame. I'm actually a big fan. The grip is really, really nice. We'll go into more details about that when we put it back together. Like I mentioned, you can see some shiny areas. Those are the areas that need lube. They do not need a crazy amount. Just a little bit will do, okay? Very, very simple. Very Glock 3 4-ish. Nothing special here. I do like the magazine release being on both sides of the pistol. That is nice. Now, a lot of guns, they are ambi. You can switch them if you want to. But the idea that it is on both sides is very nice. That way the gun is just, you can manipulate it very, very easy with both hands. The grip safety is very, very easy to engage. Whether I grab it left-handed or right-handed, the grip safety is engaged every single time, or should we say disengaged. That is nice. I'm not the biggest fan of grip safeties, but if you're going to have it, it's nice for it to work well. We've had problems with that even on $1,600 guns, where from the factory the grip safety didn't work the best. I actually took that Springfield Prodigy and I put blue painter's tape around it to make sure the trigger wasn't having an issue because the issue was the grip safety. And it just was sticking a little bit, and it's just annoying and could cost you your life potentially. However, the grip itself, I like this. The texture is nice. Everybody wants a super aggressive grip texture on their pistol for recoil control until they carry that pistol and it touches their belly and they're like, oh man, that thing rubbed me raw. So you got to find a quality middle ground. Anytime you have a quality grip, the texture is typically like rounded over, therefore it fits your hand well, but it's not like sandpaper. You also don't want the grip so aggressive that it gets hung up on your shirt. This is really, really nice for that, okay? So a lot of things to balance out and factor in there, but overall the gun's well built. Like most modern pistols, obviously, it goes back together very, very quick and easy, and it's ready to go. Like I said before, the front serrations and the rear serrations, they are extremely functional regardless of how you're going to run the gun. I like that. It's very nice. The slide lock, slide release, whatever you prefer to call it, it is very nice. It's very smooth. It's going to be loud. Very, very smooth. Sometimes when you do that with certain guns, they're so oversprung that the spring like tries to like yank the gun forward. I'm pretty sure everyone's experienced that. Most people won't talk to you about it because they don't want to, they want to pretend they're tough on the internet. No one wants to get questioned, right? But it does happen. Some people will point out that the gun is made in Croatia. I don't really care where the gun is made personally. Actually, I give no craps at all. I want a gun that is reliable for $325. Obviously, it only comes with the gun and one 16-round magazine, but that's pretty good. These magazines, if you quickly look them up, they're currently about $21 on the internet, which is pretty awesome. That means for $350, you could potentially have a gun and two magazines. There are aftermarket magazines. I prefer to use factory stuff for my magazines just because it works with it. They're not, there's no experimentation there. They do make like 30-round sticks for these things, which is not for me personally, but a pretty cool option, okay? That's really it. What else? Oh, almost forgot the most important part, and that is the trigger weight. Now, the gun is cocked. We do need to engage this safety here. Get this in place. We need to engage the grip safety. All right. Now, it only says 2.5 pounds on that one, okay? I do think it's a little more than 2.5 pounds. Let's just make sure that we had everything right and give it another go. All right, 5 pounds, okay? 5 pounds. And that could have just been the scale malfunctioning on that first one. Like I said earlier, I think 5.5 pounds is probably where it's at. Okay, that one broke at 4 pounds. So this scale has proven to be very consistent over the last few months. So I would point to it and say maybe the trigger. 5 pounds, okay? So maybe the scale's on the fritz, but I'm saying 5 pounds is the number, okay? It is. Someone's going to complain about the trigger and say it has too much take-up, say it's a little bit mushy, and then say that the reset is too long. We've talked about this a bunch in the past in videos. If you are shooting the gun and you are putting in the time practicing, you can overcome any kind of trigger because your brain's a powerful tool and it will allow your finger to adjust to bang, bang, reset, bang. You can adjust to that very easy just by shooting more, okay? So cool thing about buying a $325 pistol is you can buy 1,000 rounds of 9mm for roughly $300, if not less. If you can afford to go out and buy a $600 gun, technically you could buy this gun, 1,000 rounds of ammo, and get a ton of training in, and that is more important than having a $600 gun, in my personal opinion. So that's it. That's a close look at the pistol. A little bit of rambling. I do plan to go out and shoot it a bit more today because honestly, I like it. I think it's a fine pistol. It's actually really impressive for $325, okay? There were some comments saying people found it online for $260 in the last 2 days, which is even more incredible. If you can get it for $260 and you can get some magazines, that would be incredible. Maybe you already own an XD and you have spare magazines. So lots of options there. I appreciate you taking the time to watch.